Hello. I'm sorry I had to click all the buttons here on online. I was going live on YouTube and anyway, it doesn't matter. Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. This week we are talking about Weird Word Wednesday. I'm Cassidy Cash and this channel is called That Shakespeare Life. It's the place where we dive into the real life and history of William Shakespeare to explore what it was like to live and work in that time period of 1564 all the way to 1616. That's Shakespeare's birth and death dates. So we explore what goes on in that time period and all the fun things that were just new and changing because it was a really vibrant time of history. Here every Wednesday, we dive into what's called Weird Word Wednesday, and that's where we look at the surprising words, the weird words, the obsolete words that maybe you don't recognize today because they're not part of your everyday language. Some of them will be ones that you recognize, but maybe you don't know where they come from. Or maybe you're not really sure what it means, or more importantly, what it meant when Shakespeare was using it, which can sometimes be different. By explaining these words and helping you understand the language, my hope is that Shakespeare's plays come that much more alive for you and you can enjoy them the way they were intended to be enjoyed by understanding the language that much better. So if you're excited to increase your Shakespeare vocabulary, then subscribe to our channel because I'm here every Wednesday with a brand new word. This week, we are looking at a fun word you've probably heard about. It's called Flibbertigibbet. Now, sometimes it's pronounced Flibbertigibbet, and I will let you decide which way you want to say it. I will probably flip-flop between both ways because I'm really not sure whether you're supposed to pronounce the G or not. If you know, you can tell me down in the comments below which way you would like it to be pronounced. But this word is so unique and so much fun. I really wanted to look into the history of this word to find out that Shakespeare had invented it. But in fact, he did not. Shakespeare did not invent this word. This word was already in existence for Shakespeare and well before him. In fact, it comes from Middle English, and it's actually Flibbertigibbet is a product of the original English version. The Middle English word for Flibbertigibbet was actually Flibbertigibbet, and it meant chatterer, someone that talked a whole lot, typically a gossip or somebody that you wouldn't want to tell your secrets to unless you wanted the whole town to know about it. This was a Flibbertigibbet. That was a noun. It described that kind of person. Well, etymological history tells us that it flowed from Flibbertigibbet into Flibbertigibbet, created because Flibbertigibbet was supposed to be onomatopoeic, which means it's a word that represents a sound. Flibbertigibbet was the sound of someone talking but saying meaningless things. And so that's where the word started. And while that tells you what it means on one level, it's not the end of the story where Shakespeare is concerned, and it's not enough for you to understand what the word means when you see it in his play King Lear. Shakespeare uses this word twice in King Lear, and the play was written in 1605. Put that date in the back of your mind because it's going to matter when I tell you where Shakespeare got this noun from. Flibbertigibbet was used in a publication from 1603 by a man named Samuel Harsnet. He wrote Declaration of Egregious Popish Impostures in 1603, and in that publication, there's a list of 40 people who are very bad guys. They are described as fiends or villains, and on this list was one named Flibbertigibbet. In that publication, Samuel Harsnet describes Flibbertigibbet specifically as a devil, so really bad dude. Shakespeare uses Flibbertigibbet also to talk about some really bad dudes. The phrase Shakespeare uses is foul fiend to describe a Flibbertigibbet. And then second time Shakespeare uses Flibbertigibbet, he uses it alongside murderers and people that are just really bad people. This demonstrates the historical use of Flibbertigibbet, which is not only somebody who talked a lot, but somebody that was devious, a devil, or despised. There are other plays from Shakespeare's lifetime that use Flibbertigibbet, and it was understood not only to be a common part of English vernacular during Shakespeare's lifetime, but it was actually established as a negative word. I think today Flibbertigibbet kind of has a more positive tone to it in modern vernacular, because I know when I think of somebody that's a town gossip, I think of, like, no offense to Aunt B on Andy Griffith, but somebody that's just a light, bouncy person who maybe talks about people when they maybe shouldn't, but it's all in good fun. For Shakespeare, a Flibbertigibbet was not at all positive. It was somebody that was described as a fiend, somebody who was out to no good. So there you go. Now you have one more word you can add to your Shakespeare vocabulary and be just a little bit smarter. If you enjoy learning the history behind words and getting to know Shakespeare's plays that much better, then subscribe to our channel because we're here every week. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.